Here I have a bunch of random things that I've made over the years, which I'm thinking about taking down. It's staying for now, but because it was there. So whatever, it's there. And then we come to my desk area where I craft. So I'm gonna pull back for this so that you can get a whole look before I move in close. So, oops, backed into something. There is like kind of the overview look. You can see my Raskog there on the side, and then I have Alex drawers, and then I have a corner desk, and then a longer one on the side. So plenty of space for me to work. And then above it, I have these shelves, which were in this room when we bought the house, so that's cool. And I'll show you what I keep up there. And then my window, which you can't tell from right now because of the lighting, but it's got papers all over it covering it. So let's go in to this area first. So next to, this is just my laptop bag right here, and it's just sitting there. That is a pile of layouts that need to be put away, so I'm gonna try to do that today, but those won't normally be there. So first of all, let's look in these drawers. So I would like to get another set of Alex drawers, but I just bought one for the other side of the room and I couldn't justify buying two. I'm on a budget, you know, so this is what I can afford to do, and this is what I already had, so I went with it. This first drawer is all of my Thermoweb deco foil, and then like these are the little things that you stick through the laminator, like so you stick your project in there before you run it through. So this is all my deco foil. It's a lot. They're very generous. I'm on the Thermoweb design team. So that is that drawer. This drawer holds some stamps. I have some more of my most used stamps up on my desk, but these are some stamps that I still love and don't want to get rid of. I'm not ready to get rid of them, or I helped design some of them, and so I don't want to get rid of them. So there's not too many in there. This whole thing used to be full of stamps, and I cleared it all out and gave them to a friend, and so now this is all I have left. This is just a roll of magnetic adhesive. I use that when I store my dies, and I'll show you that later when we get to that area. And then this bottom drawer is embroidery stuff. So I have a huge bag of embroidery floss. I have this little Amy Tangerine, like this sheet that you can poke the holes on. This one's from Close to My Heart. You can also poke holes on it, and it comes with this ruler, which has, like, you can see kind of, can you? There, you might be able to see it better right there. Like it has little guides for you to stitch different things. So this is the Close to My Heart stitch guide. I don't know if they sell that anymore, but it's kind of cool. I don't know if I've ever used it, but I probably should. I like stitching on my layouts, so that's just stitching stuff, and it's really dusty. Okay. Let's come up to the desk. There's light up here. Okay, so behind this stack of layouts, I have my Royal Sovereign laminator, and that's what I use for foiling and laminating. Right above my workspace, I have this IKEA, this is meant to hang curtains with. It's like a little wire rod thingy. My husband put it up and it's not very taut. Like it's supposed to be, that string is supposed to be nice and straight, but it's not, and that's okay, like whatever. I'm thinking about taking that down because I'm not using it as much anymore. I used to hang all my embellishments up on there, but I just found that it was, I don't know, I didn't like it. So now I just have a few things hung up there. These are some basic gray little album, like these are little stickers that you can stick to anything, and they have holes. So you fold these in half, and then you can make anything be able to go into your album. I've used them before in a video if you've seen, but next to that I have this cube thingy that I got from, it's a Recollections thing that I got from Michaels, and this top part that has all the markers in it is meant to slide into this space, but I wanted more space to store things, so I just took it out and put it on top. And for the most part, the stuff on that top, like all of those markers, I use those for brush lettering. So that's kind of my brush lettering station. And so I have some Muji pens here. These are some kind of specialty. This is an embossing pen. These are some scripting, like brush lettering pens. These are some Wink of Stella pens. And then there's some other brush lettering pens. I have some of the brush lettering brushes that I use right here. Some more brush lettering pens, Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens, which I love for coloring and for brush script. These are some markers, actually I should put in my daughter's stuff. They're just really cheap markers. I have some of these souffle pens from Sakura, and I got those after seeing the Just Add Color class on Big Picture Classes. It was a premium class you could take. And there was some fun techniques done with those, so I got those. And then these are my Copics. I don't have very many. And then these are some extra Tombow brush pens that I have that I got before I got that huge one that I showed you before. That's right there. So those are all of my markers that I use mostly for brush lettering. And then right down here I have some Winsor & Newton drawing inks. And I have 2 packages of them. I like these for brush lettering. They're also fun to just use. You can kind of use them like watercolors too. So those are all inks in there, and I have 2 packages of those. I don't use those super often, but they're nice to have when I do. And I do show using them in my brush script class that I have on my website. It's called Brush Script 101. No, it's not. Introduction to Brush Script is what that class is called, and that's on CraftyJenScow.com. Just click on shop if you're interested. And then I have some India inks. I have like black and gold and white. And then this is just a little bag that I use to, if I'm taking any markers anywhere, I can just stick them in this little bag that says stuff. And it's got a zipper top, so I just stick my stuff in there and I can take it on the go. And then this is just like a little, I made this little, it kind of looks like a cupcake, but it's like a pin cushion, and it's just a bottle cap, and then you get a little piece of fabric and some stuffing, and then you can hot glue it onto the bottle cap, and then you've got a little pin cushion. Anyway, I keep my pins on there, my needles on there, and then behind that I have my like frequently used embossing powders. So, and then I also like these little micro beads, so I have a couple of those in there as well. So those are, I have more embossing powders, if you remember, down there, right there. But I don't use those ones very often. The ones I use often, which are gold, basically gold, silver, white, and black, are in here. This next shelf, I'll show you. Maybe I can even set up this. This is a little tiny tripod that I'm using. Let's see if we can set it up and I can show you. Okay, so these are all of my, these are my roller stamps. These are the ones I don't use as frequently. The date ones are over here, over there. I'll show you in a minute. But these are the other ones that I like and that I use sometimes. So those go in here. All of these little containers I got at Michael's, I believe. Flair. And then I have wood veneer in here. And then I also have wood veneer up above in these little containers right here, which I didn't show you. And if I have a bunch of a certain shape, then they live in here. And I have these, I think I got at Joann. I'll try to link to any of these that I can find. But those are really fun if you have a lot of those. For a while, the trend was to have lots of little shapes. Like you could get a package of 1,000,000 tiny little stars. And I think I'm almost out of stars by now, but there's like a ton of hearts in this one. And there's some stars. So that's why I have these, because there was a whole bunch of one little tiny thing and it was hard to just toss into a bin like these ones. So some of these could probably stand to live in those smaller containers, but I just throw them in here and it's good. These are my washi tape drawers, and I have neutrals in there, including metallics, and then colors in here. So I have a lot of washi tape, I think. I did get rid of some recently, but then I bought some more. So it's what it is. Okay, let's move on. Well, I didn't show you up here when I showed you the markers, but I didn't tell you what this stuff was. Besides the wood here, this is just another like hand lettering thing. This is like this is ink and a stone that you use. I've done a video using this before, but it's like I think it's Japanese. Now I can't remember what the name of it is called, but that's for doing hand lettering with Sumi ink, I think it's called. And then this is just some crochet thread. It's like a cream color. I use that quite often to tie tags and stuff, so that just lives right there. And next to that, hanging on this little thing, the only other thing hanging here is my enamel dots. So I have my enamel dots on jump ring, so I can just unclip this, pull down my jump ring, look through them all, and then hang it back up. And I don't know if I'll be able to do that one-handed. Take a look at my cool pin cushion for a sec. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to leave you set up right here, I think, for a second. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull back so that you can see it a little bit better. Alright, so we have this little container right here. This is just another Tupperware. I wish it was white, but it's green because that's what I had. That is where I just put like new embellishments or embellishments that these are the things I go through once I've looked through like the kit that I'm using or whatever else. I come here. This is basically all of my embellishments besides die cuts. I house those somewhere else. But they're kind of a hot mess right now, but I just thought I would leave it because this is the way that I usually keep it, so that you could see. But I have some of my most used little letter stickers right here. I love these Teresa Collins letters. I have several because I'm afraid of running out, and I don't think she makes them anymore, so that's really sad. But then I just have like random, there's tiny word stickers, and there are puffy stickers, and there are washi sheets, and just different like little waterfall packs of things, and I just like digging through here. It's fun. So that's just a bunch of random embellishments. There's rub-ons in there as well. And then to the side right here, just kind of shoved in the corner, this is like a bag that I have full of different tags. This could be probably in a different, it could be nicer looking as well, but this is how I keep it, and that's keeping it real. So that's what I do. Oh, these are some printables that you can buy in my shop. I have several printed off in black and white because I can use them over and over, and they're just kind of shoved in the side of here as well. So I'll put my tags back. These are just some packaging that I use for the packaging technique, and I just keep them right there so that I can grab them if I want to. Next to this little green thing, I keep my two clear rulers, and they just shove back in there. You probably saw this little dish sitting right here. When I'm working on a layout, and I tend to like pull a bunch of different products, and then I'll toss them in this little bin. If you watch my scrapbook process videos, you've seen me do that probably because I use this a lot. And this is just a dish that I got from my grandma when she died, and so I love being able to use that every single day. Let's see. So next I have 3 lights on my desk. One here, and one here. And then this is my tripod where I put my camera. There's an arm, I'll show you. Let's see. There you can see. There's an arm, and I attach my camera right to the end here, and it points down at my desk while I film my process videos. And the little string you see tied to the back is attached to a weight. That's just to counterbalance the weight of the camera. So it's not like super pretty, that aspect of it, but it's what it is, and that's what I have to do to make things work. And I have plenty of space, so it seems like there's a lot going on, but it works for me. So this next little part, this plastic container goes this whole length from here to here, and it goes back to the wall, and then there's like a line down the center of it. And this is like something I bought at Archivers when they were going out of business, and they used it for display purposes in their store. But it works really, really well for me in my scrapbook room. So in the front of it, let's see if I can show you. There you can see, here's the little plastic barrier. So that runs the whole length of it. So in the front of it, I keep my most used products. So this is just got my scissors and my pens in it and a couple of water brushes. I've got my staplers. This is my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher, and I keep regular mini staples in there. And then my gold one that I got from Felicity Jane, it has my name engraved on it. Whoa, there's a reflection of the camera. I don't know if you can really see that. But I keep gold staples in that one. And you can get gold staples from American Crafts. They're a really yellowy gold, which I wish they weren't so yellowy, but that's okay. Let's see. I think I need to, there we go. These are some adhesives in fine line bottles, and then I have my EK Success powder tool there. And then in this little bin, which is also from IKEA, you can find this, I think, in the kitchen section. This is where I keep the adhesives that I use like on every project in there. And then I have my 2 roller date stamps, my Becky Higgins and my Chamel in there. And then I have my frequently used, what are these? Acrylic blocks right there. And then I have some inks. So I have some Liquitex inks, and I also have some Dr. P.H. Martin's inks, as well as I have 3 bottles of Nuvo Crystal Drops. I just have, let's see, Oyster Gray, Duck Egg Blue, and like Soft Gold. And I've used them on a project in a class, but I don't think I've used them on a regular project. So, but I do have a few of those. And then I have all of my mists and distress ink, like ink stains and stuff, all right here. And so I have the ones I use more often are in the front, and then the less often are in the back. And then this is just a spray bottle for water that I use quite often. And then this is, so these are letters that are not like sticker letters, so they are loose. So I just kind of shove them right there. And then I have some of my favorite Ellie Studio stamps. You can see that I keep my stamps in these Avery Elle pockets. I really like storing them that way, and I will link to those. I stole that idea from Jen McGuire, Jennifer McGuire Inc. on YouTube. She has lots of awesome videos, especially if you're a card maker, but I like watching her videos even though I don't make cards very often. So, but that's how I keep my stamps, and I have them all labeled. So for example, this one says Allie Edwards Wild Story Kit, and that is right here. And so these are a bunch of other like Felicity Jane and Allie Edwards stamp sets, and I have a few close to my heart stamp sets in here as well. So, and then behind that, it's hard to see with my light right there, these are my 6x6 paper pads. So I try not to keep too many, but it's kind of bursting right now. But yeah, those are all my 6x6 paper pads, and I pull from those fairly often. Okay, let's see. This is, I got this from the dollar store, and it is just like, it has water in it, and it has a little plug, and I use that to like wash my brushes and stuff. It's awesome. I have a couple of those. Back there in that little jar, I just have little punch circles that are like samples of my mists. I don't know why I really keep that. I use it once in a while, I refer to it, but I don't even have the names of the mists on there, so it's just sitting there. In this OttLite, there is storage, so I just keep, let me move my tripod a little bit so you can see. I have my fuse tool here, some thread for my sewing machine, some erasers, and then this is like an adhesive remover tool, and then there's a pencil sharpener in there. So I just keep a few things in there. And then I have my sewing machine, which is a Kenmore I got in junior high. I only use it for scrapbooking pretty much, and it just stays on my desk, so I'll use it. And then these are little cubes from IKEA. They're in the bathroom section. I can't remember what they're called, but I'll try to link to them. I got this idea from Allie Edwards. She uses these to store her 3x4 and 4x6 cards, and I thought that was brilliant. I don't do a whole lot of pocket scrapbooking, but I do it occasionally, and I do subscribe to Allie's story kits, which come with cards, and I'm on the Ellie Studio design team, which also comes with cards. I use them on scrapbook layouts as well. So I keep 3x4 there and 4x6 here. And in addition to the 4x6 cards here, I also keep any of the Allie Edwards sticker sheets and chipboard sheets that I get in there. So, and then in the lids, I keep other random, it's mostly story kit products, like so Allie's products. So I have just random bits and pieces from the story kits in these. And then these are the new inks from Allie, which are awesome. You should try them. This is my favorite one. It is called Olympia, and it's like a nice green, but with a gray undertone. I really love it. It's like a greenish blue. Perfect oceany color to me. Next to that, you see my diamond press. This is a tiny little hand crank die cutting machine. If you aren't familiar with it, Adele Toomey has done a couple of videos using it and making little embellishments with it, so you should check that out. I will try to link to it in the video description below. Above that, let me move the light. Sorry. See, the lights get in the way when I'm filming, but when I'm working, it's really not a big deal. So I have this little not plastic, wire thingy that is meant to hold, I think, spices or something in your kitchen. I stole this from my mom when she was moving. She didn't need it, and I took it, and I've just used it ever since. But I have my Teflon sheets here. This is a close to my heart one, and then this is a Ranger one that I've cut in half, so I have two smaller ones. And then I just have some of my most used punches right here. These are some extra pens from Close to My Heart. They're old, they don't sell them anymore. But like a circle punch, a corner rounder, my notebook edge, that's a bigger circle. And then I have some like Sharpies and different regular pens in there. So that's just kind of random stuff. Right here, should I shine this way? Sure. I have my typewriter. So it used to live here on my desk, but I decided to move it over here because I use it so much that I just wanted it within arm's reach. So it's really close to me now. I put my paper trimmers right here. They will move around obviously on my desk as I'm working, so they'll more likely not be in that spot, but when I'm not working, they can live right there. Before I go into these drawers, let me just show you what's on top here. This is something that I've changed. So before I had all of my papers up here, but now I've decided to put my kits up here. So let me come closer so you can see a little bit. These are the current kits that I'm working with. So this is my collection Disconnection little kit, Felicity Jane the current month, Ellie Studio the current month, and then I have Felicity Jane. This is all older products that I wanted to keep together. This is my Week in the Life kit, which I need to get my act together and do my Week in the Life. And this is all older Ellie Studio stuff that I'm keeping in one spot. And so if you're not familiar with how I keep my kits, I have these iris containers from Michaels, and they're just like these big cubes, not cubes, but square, and then you can get these little inserts, which you may not be able to get anymore, but I think I've seen them on Amazon, so I'll link to them. But I sort all of my embellishments in the top and then put all of the papers and bigger things in the bottom. So that works really well for me, and I love sorting my kits like that. And I stole that idea from Nicole Jones. She's Nicole Jones 911 here on YouTube. Okay. So now, up here, I only have one little thing right here, and this is where I have some photos. So I have photos in a bag right there, and then I have some photos in a little case thingy right here. That's a close to my heart little like plastic envelope. This is my new Ali Edwards Day in the Life kit. I don't know where to put that, so it's just gonna live there for a second. This is where I have my Ready Sketch Go sketches, and I'm working on that right now, so it's staying right here with me. I won't show you that. And then I have a bunch of inks up here. So these are inks that I don't use all the time, but I want to keep on hand just in case I need a color. So I used to work for Close to My Heart, so I have a lot of their inks, and this is their little ink carrier thingy that they used to sell. So I have a whole bunch, and then there's some more on the side there. And then up here, in this box, those are older photos from when my daughter was a baby, and then these are some other photos I have sorted into little cases. And then there's some photos in here. My photo storage is a little bit of a mess, but I like digging through the different photos to find what I'm inspired to scrapbook, so it's working okay for now. I could probably think of something better. In here I have some jewelry supplies, and then this is like random. I don't know what's in there really, actually. And then that's like my sewing kit, so if I need a thread that's not in that little thing right there, or I usually just keep white, then it's in the sewing kit. And that's pretty much all I use that for. And there's bobbins in there too. So that is what's on top of the shelf, which has changed since the last time I did a video. So let's look really quick in the Raskog, and then we'll go to the drawers. So the Raskog, the top of it is all of kind of mixed media and paint supplies. So I do have them separated into little... The Raskog cart, first of all, if you don't know what a Raskog cart is, maybe you don't watch scrapbooking videos, because I think pretty much everyone has one, or they talked about it. I got one recently, not just now, but fairly recently, and it's from IKEA, and it just has 3 tiers, and you can put stuff on it, and it's wire, metal. So in the top I have... These containers are mostly from the kitchen section at IKEA as well. So this one holds my brushes. This one holds just like random things. Like these are some mixed inks that I made, and then I have distress crayons, and then this is like my Tim Holtz little airbrushing tool. So kind of random stuff in there. And then there's paints and gelatos in here. These are just little buckets from the Target dollar section. I don't think they have them there anymore. Then I have, these are my most used watercolors. I'll show you in a second where my other watercolors are. These are like different modeling pastes and things. So I've written on the top in a Sharpie which is which, so that I can tell easily just from looking at the top. So light modeling paste, heavy gel matte medium, clear gesso. This is also clear gesso. I prefer to have it in this rather than the squeeze bottle, so I just put it in there. And then that's regular gesso. And then there's other modeling pastes that I got at Tuesday Morning down there. And then this one's from Dazzlers from Shimmers. In the front of this little bin, I like this long little bin container thing. I just got that at Target. For like $2.50. I got a couple of them. But in the front of it I have my roller stamps, so like that's like a Brayer style stamp. Glitz Designs used to carry some of these, so that's what's in there. Here's my extra little dollar store water container thingy. And then in the front I have some lesser used items. My glossy accents is there. This is some masking fluid. These are all masking fluid, actually. That's multi-matte medium, and then white paint. I have all of my other paint stored in the closet that I don't want to show you, the Harry Potter closet. But the white paint I keep here because I use that most often. Okay, second shelf. Whoa, sorry, you could hear my knees crack. Okay. So on this shelf is where I keep all of my watercoloring stuff pretty much. So this is like a I just got this, so I haven't used it yet, but this is like a watercolor bin that I got at Michael's. The top is a palette, and then you open it up and it's got like areas where you can put water and stuff. And then I have a few palettes, and then some watercolor crayons from Recollections, different watercolors in here. And then, sorry, it's kind of hard to see. I could pull it out. Then I also have some Thermoweb deco foil stuff, toner sheets, and different things like that. So that's kind of what's in that one. And then the bottom one is basically all fun foam. I use that for dimension on my projects. I have one piece of felt in there as well. But the rest of it's fun foam. I prefer to use that for, instead of like foam squares, it's just less expensive. And so that's what that whole bottom thing is full of. And then kind of shoved next to it, I have a big Canson watercolor book here. That's watercolor paper. And then 2 large cutting mats if I ever need those. So that is what's there. So, shall we take a look at the drawers? Now, something new that I've done, and you can see from this angle here, I went ahead and labeled each drawer because I did switch them up a little bit. I thought I really needed easy access to everything, and I needed to know exactly what was in each drawer. So I decided to label them, and I have a label maker I'll show you in a minute, but this top drawer is all inks, and I have a variety of inks, distress inks, close to my heart, Simon Says Stamp, Hero Arts. I have all sorts of stuff in there. So that's all inks. The second drawer is my scraps. I do not want to have more scraps than fit in this drawer, so that's the plan. It's getting pretty full, but okay, sorry about that. My camera died. Okay, so we have scraps in this drawer, and I also have tissue paper. So anything that I use mostly for layering, I have in this drawer. And while we're by this drawer, let me just show you too. I added a little command hook right here on the side of my shelf so that I could hang up my heat tool. And a lot of heat tools have like a little hook on the cord, but mine doesn't, so I just hung it up from the little wire part, and that's fine. And then down there you see a Felicity Jane box. I do my misting inside of that box. So, okay, next we have adhesives and wipes. So I used to have my wipes on my desk, but I thought it'd be nice to just have them right here at hand, and they fit nicely in the drawer, so I can just pop this open and grab a wipe. And then I have a bunch of adhesives in there. So the ones I use most often, like I mentioned before, I keep up there on my desk, but the ones that I don't use as often, they stay in there. This has die cuts, and I keep these in little, these are by Iris as well from Michael's. And they are little photo storage containers. They're 4x6, and I just store mine by manufacturer. You can see Crate Paper, Maggie Holmes, Pink Paisley, Heidi Swapp, Basic Gray. They're all in there. And then this bottom one, I changed it. So the bottom used to be all of my leftover supplies, like things that I had extras of, which I moved over to my cubes. And so I decided to make this one for dies and stencils. So I used to have my dies and stencils where my adhesive and wipes are now, but I changed it out, and I like having my adhesive and wipes in the drawer now. So these are my dies, and I don't have a lot of dies, and they're kind of a mess right now, but they're in this drawer. I wanted to show you. So this is what I use that adhesive, what is that called? Magnetic paper for, is I can stick that to a piece of paper and then stick my die on top of it. And I keep these in the Avery Elle pockets as well. So that's what that's for. And then I have my stencils back there and wax paper, which I use for, and then putting all of my stencils and stuff are in the back. And that's just a screen print mask that I got from Allie Edwards. So this is like anything that it's a stencil or anything I'll stick through a die cutting machine. So there's embossing folders in here as well. You can see right there. So that is that drawer. Okay,